What's going on, y'all? So we got the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement today, but I've heard some crazy things going on here, and there's all pertaining around these freaking pricings for Japan and for the rest of the world. And everyone's talking about, oh, it's gotta be the freaking tariffs. Look, I'm not surprised I'm seeing this because I'm seeing this all over X right now. And let's be honest, most people take things at face value. I don't really expect some real thought that goes into these things. So you kind of see these posts. And then you have, it's actually crazy because I see these posts and they have like multiple thousands of likes on them, like upwards of almost 100, talking about, like, bro, it's just do some research. It's not that difficult. It really is not that difficult. But at any rate, no, it's not the tariffs. So let's dive into what's actually going on here. But first, be sure to like, subscribe. It helps out tremendously. Thank you very much. So after the conclusion of the Nintendo Direct today, which was highlighting the Switch 2 release and all the goodies on it, which we're not going to go over, they did drop the price on the website, which you found afterwards. So if you go to the website, you will see it here, the price for the main edition and for the bundle. Now, they said that there would be a main edition and a bundle during the Direct, but the price was not revealed. So as you can see here, it's $449 and $499 for the bundle, which includes a Mario Kart digital edition. Now, this price is fair. Of course, it's a bit higher, but honestly, with what they've added, what the system has, let's be completely honest, Switch 2 is about to be lights out. It's easily about to take over the entire gaming market. This thing's at 4K, 120 FPS. I mean, it's done. It's done, dude. They put a Bloodborne 2 on there, bro. Like, From Software was like, hey. They wouldn't let them put a Bloodborne 2, so Nintendo was like, okay, well, I'll do it myself. I'll do it like, bro, it's ridiculous. But nonetheless, this pricing here that you see is different than what you will see with the Japanese pricing. And this is where people are kind of uproaring and going crazy about, they're like, no, the Japanese pricing is so much cheaper. So the Japanese pricing is as so. So if you're wondering what you're seeing here, the conversion here, simply put, is 49,980 yen, which is about 334 USD. And for the multilingual version, it's 69,980 yen, which is about 467 USD. Wait, did you just say multilingual? It's not the bundle? No, it's not. We'll go over that in a second. Now you're like, wait, hold up, that's so much cheaper. Now, is it the freaking tariffs? It's gotta be the tariffs. No, get your head out your booty, bro. It's not the tariffs. What's going on here is simply the fact that the yen is weak. The yen has been weak for a while now. It's coming off of an all-time low. So this is why you were seeing this. So as you can see right here, this is an article back from 2024 in April when this first happened and when the yen was hitting an all-time low. So we can since 1990. So it's still rebounding off of this. For instance, the conversion rate, as you can see here, is 1 USD is 150.11. So the difference there is staggering. And this is why you were seeing what you were seeing here. It has nothing to do with the freaking tariffs. Obviously, the price in UK is the same as well. The price in UK is just as expensive as all these other ones are. So what you're seeing here is just purchasing power being subjective to the region. And quite frankly, it wouldn't surprise me if Japan's actually taking a loss by selling their console this low in Japan. Actually, would not surprise me if that were the case. However, this is the smart thing to do, and this is going to incentivize their market to go out and buy the Switch 2, which is what they want. You know, the big thing is moving those things out the door on release. So I think that, like I said, they're probably taking a hit on the JP side from this, at least a small hit, but that's normal in business, and it's going to pan out for the better in the long run for your product. So, and if you're wondering what those UK prices are, it's going to be for the normal one, $395, and then for the bundle, it's going to be $429. Which equates right around the same as the USD. All these things equate to pretty much the equivalent when it comes to regional buying power. You know, the regions that they're releasing these in, they're focused around those certain currencies, they all pretty much play even to the purchasing power within that region. So there's nothing to be alarmed about here. The only thing you should be alarmed about, of course, would be that $80 price tag on that Mario Kart. That was kind of crazy. That price tag on that Mario Kart is kind of nutty. Not gonna freaking lie, bro. Not gonna freaking lie. As you can see right here, you go down to this right here, $79.99 MSRP on that Mario Kart. Now, this is for like your super premier games, because even if you go over to the Donkey Kong here, this is $69.99, so it's a bit less. But Mario Kart being $80 is still, You're setting a crazy precedent there. You know, Nintendo doing this, you're setting a crazy precedent. We've seen this with some other games try to do this, but Nintendo's really walking out the door. That being said, do understand as well that gaming has not really followed inflation. Technically speaking, games should be a lot more expensive than they actually are. You may not know this, but games actually should be a lot more expensive. Just think about it. The price of games has not largely changed that much as it was like 30 years ago. It really hasn't. Just a very small increments. Realistically speaking, if it followed inflation, they actually should be a lot more than they actually are, which is why they try to push this around. Which, don't get me wrong, I do not agree with at all. Keep these things, because like once it starts going towards that $100 mark, it gets to the realm where it doesn't feel like something that is easily purchasable. It's an investment now, which is going to mark people out of gaming. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's one thing if you're spending $50, $60 on a game. It's another thing when you're spending $100. You can spend $100 on a lot of other things. You feel me? So that's obviously an issue there, but it is what it is. So we're moving along with that. But so surely you're like, how well, dude, this is dumb because I'm just gonna buy a Japanese version because it's so cheap. You know, I'm gonna be smart. I'm 5 fan. I'm gonna buy a Japanese version, then change the settings to English, and then I'm gonna save on all this money. Well, Japan's way ahead of you on that one, buddy, because they're not gonna allow you to do that at all. So as you can see here, they have set some strict conditions here. So for the Japanese Nintendo Switch, they pretty much have just region locked this thing. Which, like I said, I have no freaking problem with them doing, quite frankly, because they're trying to make sure that they, support their market. You know, this is a Japanese product. Support your market first. I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that, especially with the yen being weak right now. Very much more accessible for their market right there in Japan. So I respect that. I understand it. But nonetheless, you're not going to be able to go out and buy one of these things and then just change the language to English and then be good to go, because everything involved here is all Japanese. So pretty much you get this Japanese Nintendo Switch, you need a Japanese Nintendo account, you need Japanese language only, because you cannot change your language on these consoles. You cannot change them to English or whatnot. They are staying Japanese language. They only have Japanese language on them. So that way there's no incentive for you coming from a different country and going out and buying this thing and then just change it over to a different language, guy for cheap. So and some of y'all might be like upset by this because you're like, oh dude, this is so annoying because you want to do this. This is the same thing and the same issue that many companies have that you see all the time. You see this when people try to get subscriptions for cheap by changing regions. You saw Twitch have problems with this. People going on VPNs, trying to get subscriptions for super cheap for like, $1 where it should be $5. You know what I'm saying? You see this all the time. So if you're really trying to make a scene out of this and like go crazy over this, you shouldn't be. This is not anything out of the norm, and this is a problem within the industry, quite frankly, because people do try to take advantage of this. And in cases like these, people will take advantage of it and then scalp. 100% that's what would happen. They would just take advantage of this, and they would just scalp it. And they would just F all of us. So if you're trying to do this for the Japanese one, understand that you cannot do that. It can only work with Nintendo accounts set country region to Japan. Only soft products that can be purchased at the Nintendo eShop are software for the Japanese region. You can't do it. Can't do it at all. But all in all, I just want to clear this up so that way you are aware of what's going on here and you're aware of why this is going on. So this is a conversion rate issue. I can't even call it an issue. It's just a conversion rate scenario. Simply put, the Japanese yen is extremely weak right now. It has been for a while. And the reason why they're doing this, or the reason why it looks like this from the outside in, is simply because the yen is so weak. It's not that they're doing this. It's just it looks like this because the yen is that weak. The yen is incredibly weak. It's, like going over to Japan, this is one of the best times to go to Japan because, especially if you're using USD, because it's so strong against the yen right now. Has been for the last almost year. So this is a very strong time to be doing that. And this is why you're seeing them have that price on the Nintendo Switch 2. And also I do appreciate them actually region locking it, kind of that soft region lock the way they did. So that way people don't try to take advantage of that, because people would try to take advantage of that. And there's no reason to be upset with this at all. But I figured I'd clear this up because there's a lot of people on X who are just always just like face value. They see this stuff and then they're like, oh, dude, it's gotta be the tariffs, it's gotta be all this. And it's like they don't even think about it because they don't look at the UK price. Obviously, is it's not cheaper, so that wouldn't make any sense either. Just people just don't think. So I figured I'd make this video so that way it provides some clarification for y'all with some examples, shows y'all some of that. Some of the Mario Kart and Donkey Kong pricing as well with the software. So that's the biggest thing that you should be worried about. But the console pricing in itself, it makes perfect sense, makes logical sense. So that's where we're going to leave that. Okay. And if you're trying to get one from Japan, then you can't. Sorry. So be sure to like, subscribe. See you in the next one. Much love. Holla.
Spikesu content.